Why do so many of us not feel like adults? We're living at home longer than any generation before us. We're struggling to earn decent wages even with degrees. And for a lot of us, we just feel lost, like life hasn't even started yet. I'm in my 30s and I still feel like I'm winging it. At my age, my parents seemed like full-on adults. My mum told me that she bought her first house while she was still a trainee nurse, and that house only cost £17,000. Today, houses in that same area are worth over £250,000. My dad was younger than me when I was born, and I don't have any kids yet. I can hardly afford to support myself, let alone some kids. I feel like I'm behind in life in every single aspect. I feel like I haven't done half the things that I'm supposed to have done by this age, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around important life skills. It's only in the past couple of years that I've actually started to take my finances seriously. I still have no idea about what it takes to buy a mortgage for a house, and if the toilet goes bust, I'm either going to have to Google it or I'm going to have to hire someone to come and fix it. My dad knew how to fix his car. If it broke down, he would open the bonnet and have a look at the engine. If I opened the bonnet to our car, I would have no idea what was going on. But the thing is, I think there's also a pressure to appear like you've figured out life. When you look at Instagram, all you see are the outliers, the people who've done exceptionally well or made content that have performed really well, and that's what you get pushed. You see people that are on steroids, you see people performing at their peak, you see the highlights of their life. People don't really post about the lowlights or the things that they're struggling with. So you get this curated sense that everyone is doing better than you. It's just got to the point when I look at social media, it feels like everything is fake. Did that person really work hard for this? Did this person really earn this thing that they're flaunting? I don't know. And is what I'm watching even real anymore? Or is it an AI generated video? It's getting very hard to tell. But this pressure from social media, I think, really plays a big part in how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about our position in this life. Because if you do spend a lot of your time scrolling, you're going to start comparing yourself to these people who are outliers, these people who have either done very well, got the genetic lottery, look fantastic, or they're taking enhancements. You can't compete against it, and you look at yourself in the mirror and you think, oh, I'm so small, I'm a natural lifter, what am I doing that everyone else isn't doing? Well, it's just going to make you feel like shit, isn't it? And the thing is, the people out there doing real adult stuff, raising kids, paying their mortgage every month, earning the wage needed to support their family, they're not on social media. It's the boring stuff. But being an adult is boring. Well, it doesn't have to be boring, but it's the stuff that you do consistently month in, month out to support yourself and the people around you. I think that's the real adult stuff, and that stuff does not get pushed to you on social media. But maybe we don't feel like adults because those milestones that our parents and our parents' parents used to reach have just been pushed further and further away for us. For instance, buying a house. Like I said earlier, my mum bought a house for 17k while she was training to be a nurse. Imagine training to be a nurse now and earning enough to buy a house. You just don't hear about that sort of thing. And I think we're slowly seeing the death of the stable career as well. When you go on LinkedIn, everyone is open to work. If you're trying to apply for a job, there are hundreds, if not thousands of people applying against you, and they will very quickly push you out because there's so many other applicants ready to come in. Entry-level jobs are requiring years of experience. It's an entry-level job. What the hell? A lot of us are having kids later in life because we don't feel like we can afford it. I mean, me and my wife have been thinking about our first kid, and we're approaching 33. Does this fly? I can't see. Oh, there it is. Get out. How many people have you heard on the internet or friends that you know have said that they feel like they have to get a side hustle just to be able to afford the basic things in life? Everything's getting more expensive. Just our food costs more. And what about marriage as well? I don't know any of my friends who are married, and I got married only just recently and I'm about to turn 33. And just to go back to house prices, it's insane to see how much that they have gone up in value. I remember the house that I moved into when I was about to turn 6 years old. That house was £75,000, and when I look at that house now, it's in the 600k region. And that feeling of not feeling like an adult, I think that the fact that we're staying at home longer and we can't get these things really contributes to that feeling where we just feel like we're still adolescents but in an older body. Or maybe I've just messed everything up for myself. I mean, for a lot of my life, I didn't even want a job. I never wanted a job. The idea of going somewhere every day, following orders, just to earn money, it never appealed to me. And the idea of saving up money to buy a house just seemed like a total waste of time, if not completely unobtainable anyway. So I just put it to the back of my mind as something that was just genuinely impossible. But it does make me wonder, has every generation had this phase in their life where they don't feel like an adult? Are we just really noisy about it because we've got the internet and memes and TikTok and social media where we can complain about it and just say, oh, I don't feel ready. I don't feel like an adult. What is an adult? How to adult? You know, our parents didn't have social media, so maybe they did feel that way, but they didn't have a place to vent about it and complain about it to the world like we do. Are we just lazy? Are we just clinging onto the past and we're just an aging population not ready to let go of the fact that we're not the young ones anymore? And maybe turning 30 and onwards is just a weird age where you think, where has the time gone? How am I an adult? How am I here? I've seen this pop up on the internet, and that is that the 40s are the new 20s. People are doing things later into their life. They're having kids later into their life. They're figuring out their careers later into their life. Instead of doing it in their 20s, they're doing it in their 40s. And it feels like I'm on track to be one of those people. But then maybe it is my own fault. Maybe it is because I didn't try and figure out what I wanted to do for a career in my 20s. But then I'm sure there's plenty of you who did try and figure it out, and you're still in the same dilemma that I am. I wanted to know if it really was just us that feel this way. So I'm going to call my mum and see if she felt the same way. I bet she's working.
Hello?
Oh, yeah, are you working?
No.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
When you was younger, is there a moment like when you felt like you weren't an adult but you were, like, biologically? If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
No. Well,
Like, say, can you think back to like when you was 20?
yes.
Did you feel like an adult?
No, probably not, no. Probably not, really. Well, I possibly still don't. Yeah, no, I probably don't feel particularly adulty most of the time.
Adulty?
Yes.
Is that a technical term?
Yes.
What about when you said you got your first house? Like you was a trainee nurse.
Oh, yes.
Like, what did you feel like an adult then when you got your own house?
No, not really. No. I mean, do you ever? Yeah, I mean, I suppose you have to step up when you have a child, don't you? Step up and do adulting then. So why are you thinking about adulthood?
I'll be honest, it's for a video.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to get your genuine response to the question.
Yeah, no, most of the time I don't feel like an adult, no.
So I guess it's situational when you feel like an adult. As you heard, my mum doesn't feel like an adult unless they're looking after someone. And I think that now that I am in my 30s, I feel a lot more like an adult than I did in my 20s. And I think a lot of that is because I've taken more responsibility over my life. Like, I've started looking into my finances. I've started actually putting money aside for the future. I've actually started thinking about my future, because pretty much for the whole of my entirety of my 20s and my early teens, the future meant nothing to me because I didn't know if I was going to make it. I was told all these negative things and I thought that I wasn't going to make it or the world was going to end. If you want to hear more about that, I'll put a card up. You can hear more of me talking about what it was like to be a doomer. But these days I'm more of a bloomer. And I think when you take on that, the mindset of I actually work for the future, I do think it makes me anyway feel more like an adult. But it's only a temporary feeling because I go straight back to just being the real me, which is silly. But being an adult is part of me. But I think responsibility's got a lot to do with that feeling. I still don't feel like I've arrived at where I want to be. I'm still not even sure where I want to be. But I'm trying to plan for a future where it's not going to be so hard. I mean, I still not got the idea of buying a house in my mind. That still seems like an impossibility at this moment. But I'm making the best of my situation, and I think that's what we should all really do. How can you make your current situation the best that it can be? How can you improve your own life in a small way? And maybe that will help you feel like you have control over something, and maybe that will help you feel more like an adult. But do you even want to feel like an adult anyway? My point is, you're not failing. You're not a failure in life because you don't know where you're going, because you don't feel like an adult. We're all in this together. We all age at the same pace. We're all getting older every day, and we're all figuring it out at the same time. And whether you feel like an adult or not, it doesn't matter. Just whatever you do, do not let that doomer mindset creep in. And if you want to hear how I stopped being a doomer and became a self-proclaimed bloomer, or a doer, then click this video here. Thank you so much to everyone on the Patreon. Put your names up here, and if you want to get involved and support the channel, there'll be a link down below in the description. And thank you so much for listening.